they are, at Kukin Brothers, the quintessential American story.
Kukin Brothers is so deserving of the award that we're presenting them with this evening because they are a very valuable component of our community and the service and leadership that they provide. The way in which they run their organization, the way in which they give back to the community makes a difference and encourages others through their leadership to follow their example.
They have been active throughout their 100 years as an organization, giving to the community, always giving back, always trying to do the right thing. The values that are represented by Doug Kukin and Kukin Brothers represent the values that we all want to aspire to.
Recognition is not something we aspire to receive. As a matter of fact, we would prefer not to receive the recognition because we just do what we do and give back, not for recognition, but because we honestly firmly believe in the institutions, organizations, causes that we give to.
Personally, I think it's very important for any organization to be fully committed to giving back. It's not just about the bottom line, especially for a smaller family-owned business. I think it's extremely important to reinvest in the community itself. So I think that's as important as just about anything else we do.
In the past 30 years, we've focused on 2 neighborhoods in Patterson, and in one in particular where our office is located is called the North Side. We've built over 250 homes, and we have almost 200 homeowners right in that one neighborhood. And so as I drive around it, going back and forth to work, you look at the houses, you think of the families, you think of the lives that have been changed by having a home. And I often think that it must be a sense of pride for Kukin Brothers to also drive through these neighborhoods and think every single one of them has lumber from their lumber yard.
Our family roots also have taught us along the way that we have been richly blessed, and it's the right thing to do to give back.
When you consider what Kukin Brothers has done in the community, both through their business and with their philanthropic activities, Kukin Brothers is very well deserving of this particular honor tonight. I can say that after Hurricane Sandy, not only did Kukin Brothers need Doug Kukin's leadership, and that the entire state of New Jersey needed the services of Kukin Brothers, and they were focused in that endeavor. But Doug was chairman of our board of directors at that time, and we had 57,000 claimants as a result of that storm. And Doug and I were in constant contact regarding our response to our policyholders in the wake of that storm.
They have often been very generous in assisting. We do a lot of nonprofit work. I know that when I would call Doug and speak to him about the project and about special needs, he always made concessions to help out. Whether it was a small church or a struggling organization getting off the ground, a new nonprofit type thing, Kukins were always quick to step up and say, yeah, we'll be there, we can help.
Doug and his family members have been personally involved in so many organizations, and Patterson Habitat is just one of so many. And the personal volunteerism and philanthropy is really an inspiration to so many.
Our employees are all local. They're coaching the Little League teams, they're on the fire department, and they, by their nature, are already ingrained in their communities. So we sort of adopt that and get their back and support those communities through them.
I'd like to think that we're collectively doing something right. You don't get to, third and a fourth generation without imparting at least some good traits.
Kukin Brothers are known for their integrity, their honesty, and for their support of many nonprofit organizations in so many ways. We admire them very much.
In Matthew, Jesus says, whatever you've done to the least of these, my brothers, you've done for me. The Dyke Houses don't just talk about the fact that they go to church and that they have a Christian faith. They live this faith, you know, and it's evident when you see that whether it's the accident site, the tragedy, the natural disaster, or arranging flowers in the hallway, they're caring for others. To me, that's, you know, the kind of people this award is meant to honor.
I think they set a perfect example of what family life should be. Their dedication to their children, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren has just been an inspiration to a lot of people.
They care about their neighbors, they care about their friends, they believe in their church, and they believe in helping other people. And it's the best kind of person you can find.
The relationship of Gary and Rayanne Dykehouse and their family with Christian Healthcare Center goes back to our founding. Rayanne's grandfather was one of the 14 founding deacons that organized Christian Healthcare Center in 1911. As a young woman, Rayanne worked here at Christian Healthcare Center, managing our switchboard. Many years later, they returned when we had the opportunity to care for Gary's mother and when Gary and Rayanne began to volunteer here. Many who have worked with me and volunteered alongside Gary and Rayanne see them very much as a pair. What they do together, and they do because they love each other and because they love the community that they have the opportunity to serve. Very much the thought of to love, honor, and cherish is something that's very central to them in how they relate to each other, how they support and nurture their family, and how they give back to the community.
I was from Patterson, and I went to the Riverside Christian School, which was the grammar school. And then I went over to Eastern Academy, and that's where I met Gary. My maiden name was Dyson, and he was Dykehouse, so alphabetical seating. That's how we did this. And he always forgot his book and tells me it was purposely so he could turn around and read mine. We have 3 children. We had 3 boys, and we have 3 wonderful daughter-in-laws. Very, very good.
11 grandchildren.
11 grandchildren. And
19 greats.
19 greats. And more on the way.
Well, Dave was clearly the favorite son since he was first. That's right. He, Mom and Dad clearly had the highest expectations for Dave. So he had to be a little impatient because he had an awful lot to accomplish as the firstborn.
We'll have you know that this is a big ruse, you know, because clearly the baby was the favored son.
And the middle kid got lost.
Well, not quite. I mean, I don't think Claire got lost. He may have been in trouble most of the time, but he didn't get lost.
I am one of their 11 grandchildren. I'm number 8 in the lineup. I'm the last child of their oldest son, David. And I'm also lucky to be the namesake. My middle name is Rayanne. I'm named after my grandmother as well. I have my first child on the way, due in November this year. Love describes them through and through, from their relationship with each other, their incredible marriage, godly marriage that they have, to the way they interact with family, to the way they interact with everyone they meet on a daily basis. Love is really a selfless thing, and that's how they live their life, completely selflessly.
They were often taking off to serve with the Red Cross in different parts of the country, whether it was a flood or a tornado or a hurricane. And always, I lived in Wyckoff and knew that they were the folks on the ambulance when there were problems.
I became the first female captain of Wyckoff Ambulance Corps.
And a very good one.
That's my husband saying that.
Rayanne, as usual, Rayanne started responding to a flood in Wayne. When I retired from business, we decided we didn't want to simply play golf. We wanted to do something in the community. And so we both volunteered to be part of the Red Cross National Disaster Team. And spent many weeks on the road working with people suffering from hurricane, tornadoes, floods, earthquakes.
Having been in the ambulance corps and going to different nursing homes on the spur of a moment, not waiting for visiting times, we saw what the Christian Healthcare had. I think Christian Healthcare Center has been around as long as it has been, 100+ years, because of the care it has given and the reputation that it has.
The opportunity that we have at Christian Health Center to work with people like Rianne and Gary have been marvelous for both the center and for those people who benefit from our services. They are sitting there now quietly listening to all these kind words being said about them and feel very guilty about that, but they shouldn't. They are the kind of people who give of themselves, give of their material possessions, and are always ready to help their neighbor.
I can't think of anybody that is more deserving of this. The time that they spend, don't forget, time is your most precious gift, and the amount of time that they spend not only at the Christian Healthcare Center, but with all of the other volunteer associations that they work with. This is a wonderful thing for them.
The biblical teachings that I'm sure that they grew up with their parents, their respective parents, told them that giving back was what you need to do. You were given a lot, and therefore you need to give a lot. And I think that's the mantra that they live by. And it's obvious, we can see it. They don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk.
From my very earliest childhood, it just was accepted that from young adulthood onward, one would be of service in various ways in the community. And they never stopped, but it goes as far back as I can recall in my entire life.
It was instilled into us that this is the normal, it's not anything special, it's what you're supposed to do. It's whether it's the community, it's the church, it's the school, it's just what life is and what you should be doing with your life and your involvement.
I think that that Dad's wish that Mom be recognized is entirely in character for both of them. It is a reflection of their love for each other that you know, Dad would think of this as a recognition for Mom.
When I think of Gary and Rayanne Dykehouse, I think of the word love. It's so clear that they love each other, that they love to give back, they love to be supportive, and they want to bring Christ's love into the lives of those that they touch, whether that's here at Christian Healthcare Center, whether it's with the American Red Cross, whether it's in their church, whether it's with their family, and certainly in their devotion to each other. They are a wonderful example of what love is all about.
To say they're role models, I think would be just such a shallow way to describe how I view them now. They're really my heroes. They really are.